Well, I'm off to visit Mike Kerrigan and Lisa Holen. Now, they live just up the road in Gloucester, Massachusetts. They're very proud of their town's history, and they want their home to reflect that traditional New England style.
That's why they've enclosed their deck with a classic lattice fence featuring an archway. But 2-year-old daughter Kashlin is pushing farther and farther in her childhood explorations. So now Mike and Lisa need a gate under the archway, and I've come to help them build it. This is very nice. So is the gate just for appearance sake, or is there a security issue here with Kashlin?
Security and looks.
A little bit of both. A little bit of
yeah.
both, okay. What I'm thinking is something pretty simple, but kind of an arched top that sort of mirrors the arch up here on the top of the entryway here. And then lattice work that picks up the lattice work that's already there. So how does it look to you guys?
Looks great.
Love it. Okay. After laying down Kashlin for a nap, Mike and Lisa join me on their driveway, where I've laid out the lumber for their gate. This big piece right here is going to be the top. It's out of this that we're going to cut this arched shape right here. The sides here and here, I've laid out over here, and the bottom, this piece of 4x4 right here. Now all this is, guys, is a couple pieces of this 2x12 right here that I've glued up with some waterproof glue and then clamped it. To create the side pieces, we'll glue not just 2, but 3 boards together to form a sandwich. And then if you can take the brush here and just kind of spread this out, it's just sort of stiff.
Should I cover it all the way, or?
Yeah, that's good. As much of an even coating as you can get with that. That's good. This is polyester glue we're using today. It cures or dries by reacting to moisture. So I brush water on the face of the bottom board to promote a better bond when we join the 2 surfaces together. Lisa aligns the end of the middle board with a line I drew on the bottom board. Then repeats the process with the top section. I will say one thing about this glue. I've ruined more than one set of clothing with this stuff. It is very, very strong. It'll never let go of the wood. It'll never let go of your clothing either. When assembled, the shorter center board and the 2 longer outside ones form notches at each end called mortises. Our next step will be to cut tongues or tenons in the ends of the top and bottom rails that will fit snugly into the mortises, creating very strong joints. And to do that, we're going to be cutting away every place here that I've got an X. And we're going to use the power miter box to do that. You notice what I've done is I've set the saw so it only comes part of the way down. And we'll place the wood in here, line the blade up with that first line right here. And then we're going to make a series of repetitive passes back and forth. And each time we'll pull this out a little bit until we've removed all of that wood. And what we'll have left is the tenon. Shaving the board 1 saw blade's width at a time, Mike and Lisa create the first half of the tenon. Then they flip the board over and finish the job. Very nice, guys. After cutting a second tenon on the opposite end of the bottom rail, we repeat the process for the top rail. All right, guys, there we go. There's our tenon. On a wide plank like this, it's not unusual for the saw blade to leave a small ridge on one end, so I cut it away using a chisel. So let's zip these together.
Just slides right together?
Should go right, the tenon should go right into the mortises there like that.
Excellent.
Okay. You guys did a great job. So have you had a lot of gate building experience before?
Well, we've put up a couple of baby gates in the house, but...
And I probably could have used your help doing that.
Oh, yeah? Uh-oh.
Next, we'll cut the top rail to form an arch.
So that's going to be cut out of this wide piece right here. And I've made up a template out of a piece of scrap plywood. So all we'll do is lay this on here, like this. And take a pencil and just draw this arch right around here, like that.
Nice.
Okay.
The top curved rail will be 3 inches wide, so we need to draw a second parallel line that distance from the first. No, we can't just use the same template because this second line has a slightly larger radius. So we set a compass to 3 inches and plot a series of points beneath the first line.
When was the last time you used a compass?
Oh, I don't know if I ever used one.
3rd grade?
Mike taps in small nails on Lisa's marks. And now, it's time for the old bent stick trick.
This is just a thin strip of wood, thin enough to be flexible. So we'll start here. Lisa, if you could hand me a couple clamps over there. And we're just going to clamp this to the nails as we go around here. And what it's going to do is form a nice, even arc for us.
This strip makes a template for an arc exactly parallel to the first, and Mike draws in the line. To cut out our arch, we move to the portable bandsaw.
And you can just really take your time. There's no rush on this. If it starts to drift off the line too much, you can just sort of back up and restart it.
Next, Mike cuts the ends of the gate sides to match the curve of the arch top. Then Lisa and I fit the top and sides together.
Then we'll take our pencil, and we're going to use the edge that we just cut as kind of a template. That's our cut line there. Great. Okay. There is the top of our gate.
After sanding the arch with an oscillating drum sander, we start gluing the gate together.
Well, I bet you've done a lot of things one-handed, Lisa, but making a gate, I don't think was one of them that you probably plan on doing. Yeah?
Nope.
Want to do a little bit of gluing? Huh? Want to try your brush?
Go ahead, honey.
Here.
You do.
Good. Excellent. Excellent.
In addition to gluing all of our joints, we'll reinforce them with wooden pegs. We start by drilling 2 holes completely through each joint. Next, we brush glue on pieces of dowel, insert them into the holes, and hammer them in.
You give it to Mom.
Okay, Kashlin, the next dowel.
Thank you.
Very good, hon. Good.
The dowels, or pegs, are intentionally left long and then cut off flush with my Japanese handsaw.
Well, our frame's together. Now we're going to be putting a piece of lattice work in the center here, and to hold that in place, we'll need to install these little keeper strips.
Lisa attaches the wooden strips with a nail gun.
Whoa.
After cutting out a piece of lattice work to fit the frame, we drop it into place against the keeper strips.
There we go. All right. That look nice. Now we'll take some more of these keeper strips and put them on this side, the same way we did the back side.
Right.
All righty. We got a gate.
Looks great.
But it's getting dark, so we call it a day. When I come back the next morning, Lisa's just finishing painting the gate.
Oh, this is coming along great.
After the paint's dry, Lisa screws one side of the hinges to the fence post. Now we can hang the gate. We set it on 2x4s to give us the proper clearance underneath, then level the gate with shims. Finally, Lisa screws the other side of the hinges to the gate. Now, all that's left is to mount the latch.
Well, you got a real New England garden going here. You know, I couldn't imagine this having turned out any better. I love the way the top of this gate reflects that arch up there. It makes it look almost like a complete circle.
It really looks great, Ron.
I'm very happy with it.
Well, you know, Ron, a couple of years ago they filmed The Perfect Storm here in Gloucester.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, now I think we have the perfect gate in Gloucester.
With their new gate, Lisa and Mike have indeed beefed up security for Kashlin. And our customized design is not only a perfect complement to their fence, but to the historic character of this old New England town.